personalities, that is Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra Maharani. Jagannath is Krishna, Baladev is Lord Balaram, and Subhadra Maharani is the sister of Krishna and Balaram. So the original temple of these three personalities is in Jagannath Puri. Anyone here who has been to Jagannath Puri? I haven't been, but thank you. I'm eagerly looking forward for my next visit. So they reside in Jagannath Puri, and the altar on the left, we have two personalities raising their arms like this. Can you see them? So that is Gauranitai. That's also Krishna Balaram. They came most recently, 500 years ago. So today we are going to discuss about Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra Maharani, the personalities who you see on the right. Now before we discuss about some of their Leela, let's try to understand why they appeared. In the Purana there is a beautiful story of how Mahaprasad came to be accessible for all of us. How many of you have taken Mahaprasad from any Vishnu temple at least once in your lifetime? Put your hand up. Good. Welcome to the others. Today you are here. When you step out, we'll be serving you prasad. So next time when you come to temple, I ask you the question. All of you can put your hands up. So Mahaprasad is the bhoga, or the food that we prepare with love and devotion. We offer it to Krishna. And after Krishna takes, then that same offering is known as prasad. This prasad is very easily available now. It's available in mass, huge quantity. Usually whoever comes here, even if you come a little late during odd times, when the restaurant is closed, you wait a bit more longer. If you see an arati, wait for some more time, some Mahaprasad will come out. But initially, once Narada, sage Narada, he was serving Vishnu by assisting Lakshmiji in Vaikunta, in spiritual world. So one day, Narada Muni, after assisting and pleasing Lakshmiji in her service to Narayan, Lakshmiji felt very grateful. So she asked, "Oh my dear son, what would you like? You have pleased me so much in assisting service to my dear husband, Lord Narayan. Is there anything you would like from me?" Then Narada Muni says, "I would like to have some Mahaprasad of Vishnu." And Lakshmiji, now she goes into anxiety because Lord Narayan until that point had instructed strictly to Lakshmiji that the remnants from his plate should never go out, should never be distributed. So she was feeling morose. And then when she went to serve Lord Narayan, at that time Narayan asked her, "Why are you feeling so sad?" Then she expressed a predicament, how she has given the promise to Narada, but she is not in a position to fulfill it because of the condition or because of the rule. Then Lord Narayan said, "It's fine. Today after I finish my meal, when I am turning and looking one side, at that time you can take away the plate. And at that time you can," he is actually telling Lakshmiji how to cheat him. So Narayan, true to his word, he turns, Lakshmiji takes, and she gives it to Narada Muni. Narada Muni immediately picks up the plate and he gulps all the prasad with his heart full of gratitude. And once he finishes the prasad, he jumps up and down and roars in ecstasy. And he roars, you know, Narada Muni, Prabhupada says he's a transcendental spaceman. He can travel any planet in both spiritual world as well as in material world. So he jumps up and down, roars, going topmost planetary system, making such a big scene. Finally he comes to Kailash, where Lord Shiva is residing. When Lord Shiva sees Narada Muni in such an ecstatic mood, he calls and he asks, "What's the reason for your ecstasy?" And then Narada Muni says, "Don't you know, I had the opportunity to taste Vishnu's Mahaprasad." Then Lord Shiva says, "We both are brothers. We both appeared from Brahmaji. Where is my share? Then Narada Muni says, sorry bro, I got carried away by the prasad. I don't have anything. Are you sure? Then Lord Shiva says there's one tiny piece of Mahaprasad that's stuck there on the fingernail of Narada Muni. Immediately, Lord Shiva picks it, tests, and now Shiva starts to roar. You know, when Shiva starts to roar, what happens? Everyone gets so scared that pralaya is going to happen. So all the demigods, they approach Mother Parvati, asking her, please do something to your husband. If he continues to dance like this, then Mahapralaya will happen. So then Parvati ji goes and she stops him. And she asks, what is the reason for your ecstasy? Then Shiva says, don't you know, Narada Muni had the opportunity to taste the Mahaprasad. And he brought some for me and I tasted. Now Parvati ji asks $1 million question to her husband. What is it? I'm your wife, where is my share? And then Shiva and Narada Muni look at each other. Then Parvati ji gets so upset, so much anger, so much fury, then that she didn't get to taste the Mahaprasad. So with her anger, fire comes out. And now everyone go fall at the feet of Lord Shiva, do something. And he says, when she's in this mood, I can't do anything. So then everyone run towards Vaikunta. And then they pray to Vishnu. Oh my Lord, please come and do something. Otherwise, with her fire, she's going to scorch all the 14 planetary systems. Then Vishnu immediately arrives there on Garuda. As soon as Vishnu comes, Parvati ji falls at her feet, offering her respects. Then Vishnu asks, what is the reason for your anger? Then she says, I didn't get your Mahaprasad. Then Vishnu says, don't worry, I'll make sure you will always get my Mahaprasad. Then she says, oh my dear Lord Vishnu, the pain, the distress which I went through, I don't want any living entity to ever go through that. And I am the mother. Prabhupada says Shiva and Parvati, they are our material parents. We are our eternal parents. Shri Radha Krishna, Radha Gopinath, Shiva and Parvati, they are our material parents. So she tells to Vishnu that I want this Mahaprasad not just for me, but I want it for all the living entities, not just for humans, for all the 8.4 million species. Then Vishnu says, Tatastu. And Vishnu says, because you have taken shelter of the Mahaprasad, in future I will appear as Lord Jagannath, whose only mode of worshipping would be simply to offer Bhoga, Prasad, and then distribute it to the whole world. However, I give you exclusive rights. When Bhoga is offered to Jagannath, it has to be first offered. The Prasad has to be first offered to you as Bimala Devi. And only after you honor it will it be distributed to everyone as Mahaprasad. So if you go to Jagannath Puri, you will see Jagannath's Mahaprasad will be brought out. It will be taken to the shrine of Bimala Devi. And after she honors, she is our mother, and then Mahaprasad gets distributed throughout the world. And then Vishnu says, because Lord Shiva didn't give you your share, we will make sure that his temple will be slightly far away from you. So it will be little, if you go to Jagannath Puri, you will see Lord Shiva's will be slightly, that's his punishment. That for not giving his share to his dear wife. So this is how Puranas explain how Lord Jagannath, this is prelude to the appearance of Lord Jagannath. In different ages, in our Shastras, you will see in different ages, different lords are worshipped more prominently than others. Like Treta Yuga, if I tell you, you think about Lord Ram. It's not like Vrindavan wasn't there. Krishna was still worshipped, but Lord Ram was there. If I tell you Kali Yuga, you will think about Balaji. He was the Kali Yuga incarnation for previous Kali Yuga. This Kali Yuga, it's Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Like that, if you see, there are primarily 4 Dhamas that are given in the scriptures. In north, Supreme Lord is worshipped as Badrinath. In south, Ramnath. In the west, Dwarakanath. and in the east as Jagannath. But then each one of these personalities also, their worship gains prominence. Prominence means more people come to know, more popular. At different ages. In Satya Yuga, Lord is worshipped as Badrinath. Treta Yuga, he is worshipped as Ramnath, more. Dwapara Yuga is Dwarakanath. And in Kali Yuga, Sri Jagannath Bhagwan ki jai. Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki jai. So Supreme Lord is worshipped as Jagannath. This Jagannath, Prabhupada says, he is the most merciful of all incarnations. Normally, you will see in any temple you go, the deity or the Murti, Vigraha, is known as worshipable deity, obviously. It's known as Mola Murti. Mola Murti means something, the deity who are established, the form of Krishna which is established and they don't move. They are there all the time. So that's Mola Murti. You will also have a smaller version of the same deity known as Utsava Murti or Vijaya Murti, which are usually carried out. You go to any temple, in South India especially, you will always have two set of deities. One huge deities in any temple, like you go to Balaji temple. How many of you have been to Balaji temple? How many of you have heard about Balaji temple in South India? Okay, so any temple you go, you will see. Any Vedic temple if you go, you will see. Main deities, they will be there. And then Utsava Murti. Utsava Murti are usually carried in some palanquin, in chariot, like that. Jagannath Puri is the only temple where even the Mula Murti also keeps going out. So you will see during the Ratha Yatra, famous Ratha Yatra in Puri, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra Maharani, they come out. Prabhupada said their mood is so merciful that they don't wait for people to go and take darshan of them. It's given in the Shastras that whoever comes in front of the Lord and take their darshan, they won't take birth again. It's too late for you. How many of you are missing? Oh man, I lost the opportunity to take birth again. How many of you like to go to kindergarten? Pay the mortgage again. Study for exams. We don't want to do. We want to go to spiritual world where there is only all play and no work. We can always play with Krishna. We can dance with Krishna. So whoever comes to temple, takes their darshan, they will be liberated. But Supreme Lord thought, what about those people who don't come at all? Fine, I will go. But then method of worship. Sometimes you have to wake up early in the morning, come to the temple, you may find it difficult. We tell you chant japa, you may find it difficult. We say join kirtan, you may find it difficult. We say sit in the class, we feel sleepy. But if I tell you open the door, there's Mahaprasad waiting for you. Immediately everyone will run. So Jagannath taught what is the most easiest way how he can give out mercy to people. And he devised this transcendental plan wherein you simply come, look at them. Can you look at them? Can you look at Baladev there? Jagannath smiling at you. How many of you can see the smile of Baladev? Jagannath. You can see them big smile. Normally, if you go down the road, somebody smiles at you. What do? You give them a scornful look. What do? You smile at them back, right? Smile at them back. That's all. So they smile at you, you smile at them. You have any problem, you can pray to them. They will solve your problem. And after you finish praying, just go out. Prasadam is waiting for you. Take it, you are liberated. You got a problem with that? No. It's very easy. So it is said that whoever who's born in Puri, they don't need to fast. They don't need to do any Ekadashi Upavas, nothing. Because the Lord appeared simply for benedicting the whole planet. That's why he's known as Jagannath. So anybody who comes, they'll be given prasad. Prasadam is uncontaminated. It never gets contaminated. And whoever comes, the best way to worship Lord Jagannath is simply taking the prasad and honoring it. That's all. You don't need to fast. You don't need to wake up early in the morning. You don't need to take a cold bath. You don't need to go trekking some big mountain, nothing. Simply eat Mahaprasad. That's enough. That's the best way to worship Lord Jagannath. When Lord Jagannath was installed, it was installed by a king by name Indradyumna. So Indradyumna, when he installed at that time, Jagannath becomes very pleased and he asks him, what boon would you like? Then Indridumna says, my lord, I want 3 boons. Then Jagannath says, okay, spell it out. First boon is, I don't want any son. Jagannath gets shocked. Normally you come across so many instances in Vedic times also. People do tapasya, they do penances. And when Lord comes or Brahma comes, Shiva comes, what do you want? Some instances you will see, I want a putra. You see even Dasharat Maharaj. He has to do Putra Kameshri Yagya to get Lord Ram as his son. So you will come across many instances where special homas are done. But here Supreme Lord is there, devotee is in front, and the devotee is saying, my lord, I don't want any son. Any son means no son, no daughter. I don't want anyone. Then Jagannath asks, why? He says, I have built this temple and by your mercy you have come down. I don't want any of my descendants in future to claim proprietorship of this temple. I want this temple to be open for everyone. Jagannath becomes very touched by that and he says, Tatastu. When Indradumna's wife heard that boon, she gets shocked, she becomes morose. Because every wife would like to have a son or a daughter, a child. So when Jagannath looked at her, he could understand the reason for her moroseness. And he tells her, don't worry, your husband has asked for this boon, so you won't get a son. I myself will become your son. That's the reason why, if you see in Jagannath Puri, they pull the Ratha. Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra Maharani, they go and they stay in Gundicha temple. Gundicha is the name of Indradumna's wife's name. So Jagannath gives her the boon every year, just like, your sons and daughters, if they go to faraway land. How many of you go back to your home country? Once in a year? Twice in a year? Why are you so shy? Thrice in a year? Okay, once every 2 years. Once every 3 years. So you come across, you have come to foreign land, you would still want to go visit your parents like that. So Jagannath says, likewise, every year I'll come. He made this promise so many millennia ago. Till date, every single year he is going. So that's the first boon. Second boon, Indradumna says, my lord, I want your hands to be wet all the time. Either you should be eating all the time or you should wash your hands. Eat, wash, eat, wash. So you will see in Jagannath Puri, Lord Jagannath is being fed so much bhoga day in and day out. That's the second boon. Third boon, Indradumna says, my lord, promise me that you will never sleep. Jagannath is like, sure, why should I not sleep? He says, my lord, you descended down from spiritual world simply to benedict everyone. Why should you sleep? Then Jagannath looks at Indradumna Maharaj and he says, yeah, I don't have eyelid. Even if I want to sleep, I can't sleep. So Jagannath, you see, big eyes he has. He doesn't close his eyes. So temple is usually open for 21 hours, 22 hours in a day. 2-3 hours it's closed, but the whole idea is, before they close, they keep all the paraphernalia, so demigods, they come and they worship him. They do arati. Indra comes, gives him report. Hanumanji comes and worships. Vibhishan comes and worship. Like that. So this form of the Lord, he doesn't take any offense at all. My Guru Maharaj says, the mood of Jagannath is like a grown-up kid. Still little baby, but grown up as a big boy. Okay, so his mood is like that. So any prayer you want to come and offer to them, you can offer. Jagannath doesn't take any offense at all. Normally, when we do any puja, any homa, deity worship, anything we do, we always recite prayers called aparadha shodhana. There may be many faults, mistakes that we may have committed in the course of doing the service. We may not have chanted the mantra properly, our consciousness may not be proper, looking somewhere else, thinking something else, our mood may not be proper. So we ask for forgiveness. Jagannath's mood is, it's given in the Mahatmya, Jagannath Puri Mahatmya, even if a drunkard in a fully inebriated state, they come and they fall in front of Jagannath. Jagannath thinks, oh, my great devotee, he is paying obeisances to me. This is his mood. So Jagannath doesn't take any offenses at all. There are many, many leela that is given about the mercy of Lord Jagannath. We don't have much time. We'll go through some. Next week we'll continue with the remaining. There was one great king by name Purushottam. Purushottam, he was a ruler of Jagannath Puri. The custom in Jagannath Puri, if you see even now, the Gajapatis or the kings, in front of the cart, they would always be holding a golden broom and they would be sweeping, expressing their subservient nature. Supreme Lord, He is the proprietor, and He is the boss of everything, including the king. Everyone may bow down to the king, but the king in turn takes the role of a sweeper in front of the Lord. So Purushottam Dev, he was a very chivalrous king. He was the king of Puri. Once he goes to South India, to a place called Kanchipuram. So there he goes. He meets the princess of the king of Kanchi. Her name is Padmavati. You will come across many characters by name Padmavati in Vedic stories. So he meets her, he likes her, and then he proposes to the king that he likes to marry his daughter. The king agrees. Purushottam Dev comes back, and the time when he comes back coincides with the time for Ratha Yatra. So when Purushottam Dev comes back, the chariot was actually getting ready, and on the day of Ratha Yatra, chariot was getting pulled, and true to the tradition, age-old tradition, as a king, he picked up the broom and he started to sweep. Meanwhile, the king of Kanchi, he had sent his minister to meet with Purushottam Dev to finalize on the date of marriage with his daughter Padmavati. The minister comes, he didn't know about the tradition of Jagannath Puri. He looks at King Purushottam Dev sweeping. He goes back to his king and he says, "My lord, cancel this marriage. The person who you call as king, I saw him sweeping the street. What king would sweep the street?" So then the king of Kanchi sends a message to Purushottam Dev, "I don't want to marry off my daughter to a street sweeper." Now Purushottam Dev feels very much insulted at heart. Not so much because a king called him as a sweeper. He says, "I'm a sweeper." But he's insulting a servant of Jagannath who is offering service to him. So he goes, prays to Jagannath, and he says, "My lord, this is an insult, so I'm going to wage war against Kanchi." So he goes, wages war. At the beginning of the war, the king of Kanchi, he puts a condition. If I win the war, he is a great worshipper of Lord Ganesh. If I win the war, then I will take all your Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra Maharani deity, Murti from Puri. I will bring them to the Ganesh temple which I worship, and I'll put them at the back of Lord Ganesh in a subservient position. Then, true to his Kshatriya spirit, Purushottam Dev also gives a counter condition. If I win, I'll bring your Ganesh and put him at the back of Jagannath. So the day was finalized when the war would actually begin. Both the parties are there. But when Purushottam Dev goes to stay in the camp at the onset of the war, his tent actually catches fire. So the Purahit said, "This is an inauspicious omen. So you go back to your kingdom and come back again." So he goes back. When he was going back, King of Kanchi mocks at him, saying, "You are ill prepared for the war. Look, you are running away. Anyway, I'll wait for you." So he goes, prays to Jagannath, and he tells to Jagannath, "Jagannath, this insult, I'm your devotee. Insult for me is insult for you too. Do something." And then he fasts. In his dream, Jagannath comes along with Baladev and he says, "Don't worry, you go. This time, we both will come and fight for you." So then he becomes blissful and he shares the news with everyone, enthusing his army. So what happens next day? Meanwhile, he readies his army and he is marching towards Kanchi again. When he comes to a certain village close to Chilika Lake, one old lady stops them. And then the king says, "Don't you know what we are doing? We are marching ahead to go and conquer the kingdom of Kanchi. Why are you stopping us?" Then she says, "Two of your soldiers, they came here few hours before. They took all buttermilk from me. When I asked them to pay me money, they said, 'We don't have money. We are just the soldiers of this army.' You show this ring to the king, king will pay you. And then saying that, she shows the ring. When Purushottam Dev sees the ring, he gets ecstatic because that's the same ring of Lord Jagannath. And then Purushottam Dev asks this lady, old lady, can you please describe how they look? He said like two boys came, one was white in complexion, the big smiling Balaram. Another one was dark in complexion, which is Krishna. The dark boy came in a dark horse, and a white boy, he came in a white horse. So then Purushottam Dev becomes very happy and he says, do you know who you have served? You want money for the buttermilk you have given for the Supreme Lords? I will give you villages. And then he makes her the queen of the villages, surrounding villages, telling everyone will actually pay tax for you. Till date, that place is known as Manika Patana. That lady's name is Manika. If you go to Orissa, you can still see that place. So now Purushottam Dev, knowing very well now the lords have already gone ahead, he goes with rejuvenated enthusiasm. But by the time they come and arrive at the battlefield, Krishna and Balaram, as two soldiers, they finish off the enemies. So now Purushottam Dev comes and then he arrests the king. And then he tells him, okay, true to the condition which I have made, I'm going to take your Ganesha deity. I was thinking, Ganesha must be like, what did I do? So he brought the Ganesha deity. Till date, that Ganesha is worshipped at the back, actually, of Jagannath Puri temple. So Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra at the back, he is worshipped. In the same temple, he also worshipped Radha Kanta. This is also another Vigraha of Radha Krishna. So Purushottam Dev sees them, he says, okay, we'll take them also. This is Radha Krishna, we are Radha Krishna deities. So he comes and installs Radha Kanta in the same altar as Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra Maharani. Ganesh, he takes them at the back. Few days later, Jagannath, when he is accepting the offering, he sees some items missing. So Jagannath asks the pujari coming in the dream, are you cooking all the items? I am finding some items missing. Then the pujari says in the dream, oh, my lord, I am offering everything. Then Jagannath says, I will find out soon. And then one day Jagannath, as he is guarding, he sees, as they are preparing boga, bringing it out, Radha Kanta stretching out and he is eating. Then he comes in the dream of pujari again, he says, take Radha Kanta out, this is not working. Prabhupada says, even deities, they have love fight. It's called the Prema Kalaha. There is a term that's given in the Shastras known as Prema Kalaha. Prema means love, Kalaha means fight. Not to be imitated in home. Okay, Prema Kalaha. So the deities also fight. So in this case also, Jagannath tells to the pujari, take them out, they are eating all the prasad, I'm not getting all of them. So they carry the deities, Shri Radha Kanta, give them to Kashi Mishra. Kashi Mishra then worships Radha Kanta in his home, and the place came to be known as Gambira. It's the same room where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also resided later. Okay, so after taking Ganesha deity, he also imprisons Padmavati, Purushottam Dev, and he tells to the king of Kanchi, you insulted me that I am the sweeper. I am now imprisoning, arresting your daughter. I'll take it and I'll make sure she is married to a street sweeper. Kshatriyas, this is how they fight. So he arrested the princess, brought her, and then he tells to his minister, you know, you find a suitable groom for her, but only a sweeper. Then the minister says, all right, no problem. So then the minister waits. Next year, Rath Yatra time comes again. Everyone is pulling the chariot. The king is holding the broom. He is actually sweeping on the street. Then the minister smiles. After he finished the tradition, the minister steps forward and he says, my lord, I found the match for Padmavati. Then he says, delay no more. Conduct the marriage. Then he tells to Padmavati, Padmavati, please garland the king. Then she comes and garlands the king. And then there's a happy ending. Madhurena Samapayat, it's given. Madhurena Samapayat means in Vedic times, every story, every literature will actually end with a happy ending. So Purushottam Dev, in this way, he served Jagannath. He is Bhavagrahi Janardana. He understands the mood of his devotees, and then he serves even if there is some offense. Prabhupada says, actually, Jagannath is the first deity of ISKCON. Because Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he says, especially for people in Kali Yuga, they should take shelter of Jagannath. Because he doesn't take any offenses, and he always gives out the mercy very, very freely. There is still time. I'll go one story at a time. If you go to Rajapur, in Mayapur, we have our own Rajapur Jagannath, very merciful. There are many pastimes also of Rajapur Jagannath. One day one rickshawala comes, bringing some customers to the Rajapur Dham. It is in Simantadvipa. Navadvip has got 9 islands. Navadvipa means 9 islands. Do anyone of you, how many of you have visited Navadvip? Mayapur? Okay. I need some help here. Can you tell some of the names of the islands? Louder. Shvetadvipa is not one of the Navadvipa. Koladvip, yes. Antardvip, yes. Louder. Simantadvip, that's where Rajapur Jagannath is. Yes. More. Godrumadvip. Any other? Yes, Prabhu? Antardvip, Simandvip, Godrumdvip, Madhyadvip, Koladvip, Ritudvip, Janudvip, Modadrumadvip, Rudradvip. 9 islands are there. Rajapur Jagannath's temple is in Simantadvipa. So, one day when rickshawala comes, bringing some customers who are devotees, they go take darshan. When they come out, they bring some Mahaprasad of Jagannath. He gives it to the rickshawala. Rickshawala takes it, throws it. And he says, I don't believe in idol worship. First, the term idol itself is wrong. Statue also is wrong. This is murti. This is vigraha. Vigraha means, Archa Vigraha means these deities are made, carved based on the descriptions of the Shastra. Based on the descriptions that are given by Lord Brahma, Lord Narada, Lord Shiva. So they are all authorized forms of the Lord. Prabhupada says deities are exactly, in a mundane sense, if you want to understand, normally we see post box. You go and drop a letter in the post box, even though it's not post office, just a post box, you can be assured that because this box is authorized by postal department, whatever letter I drop, it will go and arrive at some other destination. Now, if you make an imitation box in your home that looks exactly like post box in your home, you drop the letter, what do you think the destination of that letter will be? Post box only, it won't go out. Correct? Because it's not authorized. Same way, idol or statue, they are all unauthorized forms. People out of their imagination, they make. Archa Vigraha means it's like authorized post box. It has the same effect of you. I love this pin drop silence. So, authorized post box, just like how it acts exactly like a post office, similarly, we are coming in front, you are looking at Radha Gopinath, he is smiling at you, you are looking at them, they are also looking at you. Whatever prayer you offer here, this will be answered. Every single prayer will be answered. Because this is Krishna himself. Just like how your post box is working exactly like post office, similarly, this Archa Vigraha form is Krishna. You try praying to him, praying to Radha Krishna, and then you go home. I know what will happen after that. I have seen way too many examples in 20 years. Okay, so this is the power. But this rickshawala didn't understand that. He said, like, I don't believe in deity worship. I don't believe in idol worship. He threw and he went. Next day he came running, falling at the pujari's feet. Please give me Mahaprasad. Pujari says, yesterday we gave you, throw it away. What kind of game is this? We are not going to give you. He says, like, no, seriously, I believe in Mahaprasad, please give. And finally, taking pity on him, they gave, he takes. And then the pujari sits right next to him and he says, what happened? He says, last night I was sleeping. In my sleep, I saw one white guy, Balaram. He sat on my chest. And he was pounding. What did you do to my brother's Mahaprasad? He says like, no, mercy, mercy, mercy. We came in the form of food. What more mercy you want? Hitting. No, please, kripa, kripa. He says like, we gave you Mahaprasad. That's all we did. What more you want? Again. And then he says, this white guy was beating me on my chest. I was suffocating. And this lady who is yellow, she is coming and encouraging the white guy. Beat him, kill him like that. And only this black boy was standing there. He's trying to pacify both of them. It's all right, let him go. And then he comes, oh, Jagannath ki jai, Jagannath ki jai. Now we may think Subhadra Maharani is like, she is a hard task master. She like encouraging her brother to kill him. I'll tell you another story where you will understand Subhadra Maharani's merciful nature. There was one security person who was hired by the devotees, by ISKCON in Rajapur Jagannath. He was given a bowl of prasad. Usually if you go to Mayapur, Vrindavan, on festival days especially, they make in clay pots. Different. How many of you have seen that in Mayapur? You can see so many preparations they make, like thousands of preparations they offer, and then they distribute. So this security person was also given one Mahaprasad bowl. He was seated there, but because of late afternoon, he was feeling very tired. He just dozed off. And when he woke up, he was shocked to see one dog eating from that. And the dog finished off everything, licking up the final pieces. And then he's like, oh my God, I just left it. I didn't honor it. If I distributed to the dog, that's one thing, but I neglected it. And then he was praying, my Lord, please forgive me. And then he goes to sleep, night time. In the dream, this time he sees, this Mahaprasad, by the way, was from Balaram Jayanti, birthday of Lord Balaram. This time, because he offended Balaram's Prasad, guess who sat on his chest? Jagannath. Pushing, how dare you insulted my brother's Mahaprasad? Again he was hitting. So then he's like, oh Jagannath, I'm your devotee, please spare me. But how can you offend my brother? Again he keeps beating. At that time, now Jagannath is solo here. In the altar there is Balaram and Subhadra Maharani. Subhadra Maharani comes down, jumps from the altar. This is his narration. He's seeing in the dream. She jumps down and she stops Jagannath, saying, don't beat him, he's your devotee. Doesn't matter, but he offended my brother. Then she couldn't stop Jagannath. She goes, climbs up, pulls Baladev. Only because of you, one devotee is going to get killed. Come down. So you will come across the mood of the deities. They are very, very merciful. Normally, it is said, only when somebody is a Brahmana, they can worship. But when Jagannath comes out, that's why Prabhupada said, he is not Purinath. He is not Orissanath. He is Jagannath. Jagannath means, as the name implies, as the name itself actually explains, he is the Lord of the whole universe. He is the Lord of all 8.4 million species. So we are going to have a beautiful festival called Snana Yatra, which will be celebrating in June. And on 29th of June, which is a Sunday, we are going to celebrate the Ratha Yatra festival in Liverpool. We have got the permission for that. We welcome you all. You will see information about those festivals there in our social media, website, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. There are many opportunities for you to take part. Thousands of people come. How many of you participated in last year Ratha Yatra? How many people do you think attended last year? Make a guess. They distributed 4,000 plates of prasad last year alone. So many of them come. It's a wonderful opportunity also to participate by contributing. You can contribute your time. You can contribute some Lakshmi. It's a wonderful way to worship. It's a beautiful way to share Krishna Bhakti with others. So everyone from all nook and corner of Sydney can benefit from that. Everyone who comes, it said, whoever who comes and touches, you don't even need to pull. Just touch the rope of the chariot. You will get liberated. Sometimes devotees take it too far. We call it life membership. Somebody comes in the morning, they hold the rope at 8 o'clock, they won't let it go until 1 o'clock. So don't do life membership. You take your turn and pull for 5 minutes, give it to someone else. Let others do. Let's actually bring in that culture. Eagerness is good, but Supreme Lord becomes more pleased when we see facilitating each other's bhakti. Okay, so we shouldn't be fighting for that. So it's a wonderful opportunity. Please help us spread the message. Everyone is welcome to come. You can pull the chariot. We'll be serving Mahaprasad at the end. We'll also be having a lot of cultural programs as well. Kids love that. It's a wonderful opportunity. This is one festival which pulls everyone, people from all walks of life, whether you are a believer, non-believer, whether you visit the temple, don't visit the temple, doesn't matter. Jagannath himself comes out. On that day, our Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra Maharani, they will also be coming out. But before, 2 weeks prior to that event, we'll be having Snana Yatra. Snana Yatra means that's the bathing event. In scriptures, there are multiple options, multiple ways how you can make spiritual progress. One way is just coming to temple, sitting and hearing satsang. You are making spiritual progress. You may not realize, but you are. You may be thinking, I'm sitting on a raised seat. I should be some some speaker. I must be some great devotee. No. This morning I was seated there attending another class. So in bhakti, the beauty is the speaker as well as the hearer. Even if you sleep in the class, everyone, I woke up some of them. Everyone takes the same benefit. Shortly after this, you will see one devotee leading the kirtan here. It's not just only that devotee is benefiting. Everyone benefits. You can just clap the hands. You can just pray. Everyone benefits. You may be seeing a pujari there offering. Whatever benefit the pujari gets, all of us get the same benefit. Bhakti is always collective offering. Okay, on Narsimha Chaturdashi, 2 weeks before we did a homa there. You will see one pujari there, 2, 3 pujaris reciting the mantras. You may think only we take the benefit. Everyone takes the benefit. Understand? So, bhakti is always a collective offering. All we have to do is just be there. Even if you don't try, just be there, lamp will come to you. Just be there, somebody will bring the flower. Just be there, somebody will push you out. Somebody will give you place of prasad. So, bhakti, we just need to make that effort just to be around devotees. That's all. Okay, you bring your kids, bring yourself, very important. Bring your parents, bring your neighbors, bring your friends. As I said, it's a fantastic opportunity for all of us to participate. And you can participate in so many ways. You can contribute financially also. There is no amount is big or small. But whatever little that we give, Krishna is very, very grateful. He never forgets. Okay, so I'll leave you with that thought. We'll continue discussing about Ratha. What does it signify? What is the mahima or the glory of somebody pulling the Ratha? Why are we pulling the Ratha?